Hello and Assalamualaikum. We will start by introduce ourselves. My name is Nur Aliza.
My name is Nur Alia Aiman.
My name is Nur Anessa.
My name is Shahrus Faizal.
My name is Walid Haikal.
What is economics? Economics could be defined as a social science which studies man's behavior in trying to reconcile his unlimited material needs with the relative scarcity of available resources. The study of the ways that individuals and societies allocate their limited resources to try to satisfy their unlimited wants. What is microeconomics? Microeconomics is the study of economics that deals with the detailed behavior and functioning of individual industries and individual decision-making units, firms, and households. What is demand? Demand refers to the quantity of various goods that people are willing and be able to buy at a particular time at a given range of prices. Demand differs from desire and wish. Demand also a willingness to buy and ability to buy. The consumer must have money to buy the product. Desire, want, and wish are only desire but not be able to purchase the product. What are determinants of demand? 1. Number of buyers. 2. The price of product. 3. The consumer's income. 4. Consumer tastes and preferences. 5. Prices of related goods, including the price of substitute, the price of complements. 6. Changes in population. 7. Consumer expectation. 8. Socio and economic condition. What is change in demand? It refers to a shift in the entire demand curve of a goods when any of ceteris paribus factors or conditions changes. A shift to the left represents a decline in demand, and a shift to the right is an increase in demand. What is supply? Supply is the amount of commodity that enterprises are able and willing to sell in a particular period of time at a given price range. The law of supply states that price and quantity offered are inextricably linked. As the price rises, so does the amount of product available. The quantity offered decreases as the price decreases. Positively sloped supply curves are produced by the law of supply. What are determinants of supply? 1. The price of goods or service. 2. A change in the cost of production. 3. The price of other goods. 4. A change in government policy. 5. The number of suppliers. 6. The technological change. What is change in supply? A change in supply occurs when the relationship between the quantity of a good that producers are willing to sell and the per unit price of the commodity changes as a result of a change in one of the elements that impact supply. Other than the price of the good, it also entails a full reversal of a current supply curve.
Demand of face masks. Due to COVID-19 that occurred unexpectedly in the country in 2020, it causing everyone to do panic buying of face masks because the government has implemented an order movement control order during pandemic. Due to that, the demand of face masks increasing rapidly, and at the same time the price of face masks is increased as well. The demand is rising because the MCO in 2020 is not as strict as it is in 2021, and each household can send as many as 2 people out to acquire necessities. Moreover, each individual still has a job and an income to support themselves and can afford to purchase face masks in large quantities. Besides that, in this case when prices of one good rises, the quantity demand of that good will fall and demand for its substitute will increase. As example, when the price of surgical face masks increase, the quantity demand for surgical face masks will fall and people will look for another alternative. Thus, the demand for fabric face masks will increase. Supply of face masks. The quantity supply of face masks has increased in 2021 during movement control order. Meanwhile, the demand of face masks does not increase because of MCO in 2021 is stricter than 2020 and only 1% of each household can go outside to get their basic needs. The increase in supply of face masks is because the price of good. This is because a common objective of firm is not only to make profits but to maximize profit as well. Moreover, cost of production in 2021 has changed. A decrease in cost of production will lead to an increase in supply and push the supply curve downward or to the right. This is because the firm does not need to issue a lot of capital to produce the face mask and they can maximize their profit. Furthermore, a change in government policy also one of factors change in supply. The government has given subsidy to seller or producer for them to produce the face mask optimally. Finally, is the advancements of technological. It allows the use of a smaller physical quantity of resources to increase supply. Since costs are less with the new technology, the supply curve shifts to the right.
As the new coronavirus spreads around the world, demand for hand sanitizer is also increasing. Since the COVID-19 outbreak began in January, sales of hand sanitizers exploded in various worldwide marketplaces. When the local recent cases hit the news, disinfectant liquids and hand sanitizers sold out quickly as citizens prepared for the worst. Since mid-January, demand has increased to 300 drums per month, up from the usual 100 drums, or 2,800 liters of sanitizer. Despite that, the price of hand sanitizer is still reasonable so that the demand for hand sanitizer increased and it caused a movement along demand curve. As people panic, demand for hand sanitizers increased. Hand sanitizers were limited in supermarkets, and as they were, the cost had raised by as much 70%. By the end of January, hand sanitizer sales in Malaysia had exceeded 1 million ringgit. Despite the fact that many businesses suffered during the pandemic, sales of hand sanitizers continued to rise, but there was a catch. Local producers initially had difficulty procuring ethanol because it was largely imported from China, which had the greatest case of COVID-19 at the time. Ethanol's price was also raised dramatically. Based on the diagram, the number of hand sanitizers has increased. More suppliers mean more products may be created in the market.
Demand for e-hailing service. Due to COVID-19 that occurred unexpectedly in 2020, the quantity demanded for e-hailing service are slightly decreased because the government has established the movement control order. Because of that, only two people for each family can go out to buy their groceries or needs. In 2021, the quantity demanded for e-hailing service has decreased more than 2020 because the MCO in 2021 are more stricter than 2020 and only one person for each family can go out to buy their groceries and needs. This has caused the decrease in quantity demanded and forced the quantity demand curve to shift from D0 to D1. The other factors that cause this downshift is the decrease in consumer purchasing power. Due to this pandemic, many people lost their job and has no income to use the e-hailing service. They prefer to use their own vehicle in order to save more money. Next, supply for e-hailing service. The supply for e-hailing services has decreased because government has established the MCO and caused the decrease in demand for these services. Because of that, many e-hailing drivers did not want to continue working in this sector. This has caused the downshift of the supply curve from S0 to S1. The other factors that cause this downshift are because of the price of other goods that are high, which is petrol. Because of that, the supply of e-hailing services has fallen.
Demand of necessity goods. As we can see, the graph above shows that now the demand for necessity goods is increasing during the year 2021. This is because the increasing daily COVID-19 cases and the Movement Control Order (MCO), which announced by the government to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Therefore, all Malaysians need to stay at home and they are not allowed to go out from home without essential necessities until the end of the date. So, they all need necessity goods more than usual because they need to stay at home. Before the MCO is conducted in Malaysia to stop the virus, the government will announce important things during the MCO. That's why the graph shifts to the right from point D0 to D1. Supply of necessity goods. The graph above shows us that the supply graph has also increased from point S0 to point S1, and the supply graph shifts to the right. This is due to the high demand for necessity goods and the Movement Control Order (MCO) announced by the government. So, we need to stay at home to stop the spread of COVID-19 virus. The supply of necessity goods is also increasing as most of the employment sectors involving daily necessities are allowed to open when MCO, such as food, beverages, medicines, and more. So, many who are laid off or on unpaid leave become a small businessman in order to survive during this pandemic. Other than that, factories and shops for food, drink, and medicine were also allowed to open so that everyone could buy them.
Thank you for listening.